Hi guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. I really hope I find you in a great mood today. Today is 17th of April 2021. And the sun is still in Aries, and sun is in its strong position in Aries. So depending on in which part of your birth chart Aries is as a sign, it means that the sun is shining on this area of your life. Great stuff. My name is Maria, and I've been practicing astrology. I found astrology very useful because I came to a stage where I was kind of lost. I didn't know which road to take. I was on the crossroads. I was jack of all trades, having lots of diplomas and certificates, but I still couldn't find my career, and I really felt that I need to do something. I need to leave a legacy to this world because I have sun, Mars, and Venus in my 10th house, and my MC is in Leo. And today we're going to talk about this. So MC means that my greatest potential should come something through the heart, something to shine, something to be on the scene. And here I am being on the scene. My son, my natal son in the 10th house, wants to shine and to be like a public person. So here I'm starting to going on my basically to trying to become my dreams to become true. Sorry, I got so excited about that. So today I said we're going to talk about one very important topic, and I would like to remember you to check my previous videos if you haven't watched them. So I was talking about the sun and the moon in the birth chart. What do they represent? How to satisfy your soul? How to see what your soul wants if you still haven't felt that. Then I talked about the mission, what our mission is. So if you again feel lost in your life, the North Node could help you. So go back to my video about the lunar nodes and finding your mission. And I also talk about Venus, and I talk about how to find our ideal partner according to our birth chart, because there are general things, general horoscopes which say this sign goes with this with this, but these are very general. So that's why for now at least I don't practice general horoscopes. I do only individual horoscopes, and I found them very useful because they really help us to get to know ourselves. And it's very interesting when you say you need to get to know yourself. Everybody says, well, I know myself. Well, if you think deep inside what your soul wants, you're not sure. So this is it. So what makes you happy? But then you need to think about yourself, not to think about what your parents would think of or what your friends would think about that. You need to think about yourself. So here we need to be kind of positive, healthy egoists in order to fulfill our dreams. And every single person on this planet has potentials. Everybody has talents for something. Everybody was born to be something. We just need to discover it. And usually, when we are very young, in our childhood years, when we don't think about making money, then our soul tells us what we want to be. But then when we grow up, there's some collective interferences from other people, and then we start thinking, what about money? How can I earn more money? And we live in a material world, which is very sad because many people do things that maybe bring them money, but their souls are not really happy. And if you go like this for a long time, decades, well, this will result in some blockages, first psychologically, then physically, and actually it will end up in illnesses because emotions and our wishes are very important. Although we live in a very masculine world, where everybody wants to be a man, everybody wants to have six packs, everybody wants to have a small body, and be fit and be young. In every of us, there are lots of emotions. And especially for the men, it's very difficult to live in this world, because in every man there is feminine energy, obviously, which are the emotions, but they're not allowed to show them, because even men start crying, everybody would say, are you a woman? You're very weak. So emotions, the feminine energy, is considered to be weak today. And that's why many people, they suppress their feelings, which is very bad. They suppress their feelings and they're not happy. That's why we talk about Saturn and the midlife crisis. That's why when the late 30s or early 40s come, many people fall into depression. They start taking some substances because they cannot cope this suppression of the emotions anymore, because they have swallowed so many emotions that now it's too much. Like, their body really tells them, that's enough, I cannot deal with this anymore. So that's why it's good to express our emotions, show what we want, what we feel, and don't worry about what others will say. You just do and show your emotions. If you feel love towards somebody, show him love. If you feel like saying I love you, say it. If you feel like saying I don't love you, say it. Because these are the feelings, and they are very important. This is the feminine energy that we all have in us. Hi Vanka, hi Stanislava, hello Astro Maria. Yes, that's me. You can, guys, contact me through my Facebook page, Astro Maria UK, for any consultations or if you have any questions. So, as I said, we need to be ourselves first in order to be happy and in order to fulfill our mission. Because I know some people that they don't follow their mission. They don't follow their birth chart. They just do whatever they are told from outside, from the external world. They do not let their emotion flow. They do not show their wishes. So in that case, this life is lost. If you do not fulfill your mission, if you do not raise to the next level of consciousness, if you do not develop your spirit and your soul, if your soul doesn't go to the next level, then this is like a failed class, really. It's like going back to year one again. So that's why we need to be very, very open, very honest, just say what we think and what we feel. Well, I say that there is a world before 2020 and after 2020. So it's not a coincidence at all that 2020 happened, and you all know what happened in 2020. So this is still a sign from the universe to wake us up, because we were so we were very obsessed with this material world. Like, everybody would lie, everybody would do anything just to gain some more possessions. And actually, the material possessions can only lead us to even more and more sins. And we're going to talk about sins in one of the next videos, deadly sins, the 7 deadly sins. So the new world is all about ideas, is all about knowledge. So money would not be very important in the new world. So it doesn't matter if you have millions and billions in your bank. It's important what you have here and what you have here. That's very important in the new world. And obviously, we live in a time of transition. We live in a very important time. It's like the world going from Middle Ages into the Renaissance in the 15th century. So we are kind of from one side, we can say that we are victims of that change, but on the other side, we are actually very brave souls because we chose this time. We knew this was going to happen, and we chose to be a part of this very important time on the earth. So instead of complaining about the changes and everything, we need to be very flexible. We need to learn the lessons. And pass the test very quickly because actually we are on a very low vibration on the earth. So that's why all these things happen. The universe just shocked us because the universe just couldn't stand the things that were on the earth, really. So we all need to change. Hi guys. Hi Elena. Hi. Okay, so as I mentioned, we all have potentials. We all have talents. Somebody is good for singing, other person is good for cooking, somebody is good for painting, lots of many things. But very little percent of the people, they they kind of express their talents. And why is that? What do you think? If somebody has a wonderful voice and he said, well, what can I do with singing? I mean, nothing, right? I paint very good, very well. I do great paintings, but how can I live from that? It's a wasted talent. So what stops us from fulfilling our dreams? Because if somebody has the talent and he does it with passion, he does it from the heart. And if you do something from your heart, it has to work, like maybe not in a month, in a year, but in 5 years, in 10 years, it's going to be worth it. But what drowns us to the bottom is the fears. Fears of failure, fears that I'm not good enough, fears what others will say if they see that I do this, because this is taboo, for example. Lots of different types of fears. So again, we go back to the collective norm where the society says you should all be the same, you have the same education, you should be workers, you should listen to your bosses, and that's it. Go to work, come back home, have your family, and die. This is what we were taught of. But actually, nobody told you that you are the authority yourself. You can walk on the water like Jesus Christ did if you believe in yourself. So it's very difficult if you lived with the thought that you can't do anything in your life. You just have some basic job you do, and then that's it. So it's difficult to change the opinion if you live with this like 30, 40, 50, even 60 years. It's very difficult. So I mentioned also yesterday that how to understand the bigger things in life. First of all, by learning, gaining knowledge about the world and the universe. Another thing is not only reading from books, but traveling. Because traveling really broadens our minds, and traveling really changes our perspective and our view of life, our philosophy of life. If you stay at the same place where you were born, you just think that this place is the only one in the world. Somebody on the TV says, this is the best place, and you don't even know what's going on at the other places because you're scared to go there because something might happen to you. So we need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to go and see many places. How can you choose what's good or bad when you see 20, 30 different places, and then you make the comparison between those, and then you say, actually, this country is better, or this city is better, or this is worse. If you don't know about the world, life would be very simple and boring, and you cannot even use your talents and potentials. And again, I'm preparing for you a very interesting topic about relocation. So if you at the place where you were born, you feel that the energy is stuck, you don't feel good there, something is not going well in your love life, in your career. So one of the things that we could do is to relocate. And I know it's not easy for everybody, like for me, because we are all different, obviously. But again, we have to get out of our comfort zone if we would like to do something in life. Okay, so many thoughts in my mind that I would like to share with you. Yes, we're talking about our potentials, and I just wanted to say people why people are scared to show their talents and their potentials. And some people might not even see this as a potential because they say, well, I make good cakes, for example. So what? Well, yeah, you can make a whole business, a chain of shops where you can sell, or you can be famous, you can make videos online, you can be popular, and you can become a brand for good cake, for example. But that simple mindedness that we were raised with is very deeply rooted in our minds, and it's difficult to change this. But that's why the universe kind of poured this bucket of cold water with ice to awake us. And although we are complaining, for many people, this time is a real time of change, because if 2020 didn't happen, many people wouldn't have made these changes. And after, you are forced to make the change, you complain for a while, then you get used to it and you say, I should have done this ages ago. Yes, because you didn't do it on your own. Now you're kind of forced to do it because this is your path, and we all need to go and follow our paths. Right. So, as I mentioned, my midheaven in Leo would give me potentials for shining, for love, to do something out of love, because Leo is all about the heart and love. So Leo is theater, Leo is acting, to be on the scene. And since I saw my birth chart and I deciphered the meaning of my birth chart, I realized that this can be good for me, and I really enjoy it. Also, although obviously it means that I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to speak in front of a lot of people. I need to speak in a language which is not my native language, or in even more non-native languages. But I'm happily doing this because I know that it is really worth it, and I really like it. So how to see where your potential lies? So if you're not aware of this, if you're kind of lost, you have no idea what to do in your life, and this happens often, since when I was in my early 30s, I realized that I studied university, but then I realized that this might not be what I really want in my life. And in the smaller countries where the people are more traditional and narrow-minded, sorry. They think that once you graduate, you take the diploma from this university and you're done for your life. That's it. You don't study anymore. You just use your diploma. You just work the same boring job for 30, 40 years. And that's how you get retired, and that's it. Then I realized that, when I relocate, with my relocation, I realized that people live different in different parts of the world. So in the Western countries, I saw that most of the people, they studied one thing, but they were completely another thing. They studied just because they needed to study something. But then when they grew up, after the Saturn return, go back and watch my video about Saturn, they realized that actually I don't feel good doing this. So I would like to do something else, and they change. And I actually quite like these changes. So in UK, I've done a variety of jobs, and honestly, I would just get bored from one job in 1 year, and I need a change. So I would swap to the next one and the next one, since I found astrology. So hopefully, I hope I will stay here for a decade or decades, just because with astrology there's always more and more and more. Every day I discover new things that are like, oh my god, this is so great, I didn't know this. Even with my own birth chart, you cannot read a birth chart in 1 hour or 2 hours. You need months and years to really read a birth chart, because there is so much there. And astrology, with astrology or even astronomy or every science, like even the medicine in general, how much do we know from the reality, what is going on, even on the earth or in the universe? How much do we know? 5%, maybe even less. So we just think that we are very technologically advanced, but when you think deeply, the ancient civilizations, they knew much more, and they knew many things that somehow it's impossible for them to know, but actually they did. So how? We don't know. So we don't have answers. We don't have answers how astrology, who presented those sciences, astrology beliefs to the earth, to the people. We don't even know how the theory of evolution, is it true or not? Well, there are other conspiracies that actually somebody else came from out of the universe. So we don't know. And that's why I'm saying that we know very, very little about ourselves and our universe and the humanity, the humankind in general. So we are now entering in the age of Aquarius, where Aquarius is a sign of science, of the modern things, of the futurism, and astrology as well. Aquarius is a sign of astrology. Give me something new. I'm done with this tradition, right? Okay. So if you want to see in your birth chart, where's your potential, you look at the MC, the midheaven. And if you guys watch my videos from the previous few days, I explained that in the birth chart, there are two main axes. So one axis is ascendant, descendant, and then the axis I and the partner, me and my partner. And there's another axis, Imum Celi and Medium Celi, or Nadir, they call it Nadir, and midheaven. And that's the axis of where do I come from, my roots, and where do I need to go? What's my greatest potential? So Medium Celi means the middle of the heaven. So I can reach from the root. I have the potential to reach to the middle of the sky, to the heaven. But I need to obviously make some effort. If I just sit and do nothing, it's not going to happen. So there are actually a few things that we look at the birth chart about potentials, or also career, because the midheaven, according to Placidus, I practice, I cast charts at Placidus. So midheaven is the cusp, the beginning of the 10th house, and 10th house is career. 10th house is again where we have potential to give something to the public, to make it known, to be on the top with the 10th house. So this is the midheaven, our best potentials. So you look at your midheaven and the 10th house, obviously, and you look for planets that might be around the midheaven. So you look at the degree of the midheaven. First you look the sign your midheaven falls, and then you look if there are planets around the midheaven. So in general, astrologers use 8 or even 10 degrees plus minus the midheaven. So those planets would tell you a lot about your potentials. And I'm going to talk about the signs and planets, what potentials they can give you. If, for example, you don't have planets in your 10th house, don't worry, because this doesn't mean that you don't have potentials. Of course you have, everybody has. Then we look at the ruler of the 10th house. I'll tell you an example. If your midheaven falls in Capricorn, the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. Then you look for where Saturn is. You look the house, you look the sign of Saturn and the aspects of Saturn. So today I'm just telling some basics, really, for people who would like to know some astrology, to gain some basic knowledge about this. So we're looking for the midheaven, we're looking for planets around the midheaven, 8 to 10 degrees plus or minus, and we look for planets in the 10th house in general, and those planets will tell us, and the sign also on the midheaven will tell us about our potentials. That's one thing. Another thing that we could look for is stelliums. What is a stellium? A stellium is when we have 3 or more planets in the same sign. For example, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets I've seen in one sign. So they're basically more or less in conjunction. And this is concentrated, very heavy energy. So usually the first 30 years, again, I'm mentioning the Saturn return, the first 30 years, these stelliums can cause really difficulties and problems for the person, because this energy would be very heavy, especially if it is Capricorn, or maybe water, maybe Scorpio energy, or even Pisces. So the person, because with time we gain more wisdom and knowledge, and we learn how to deal with difficulties, but when we are young we don't know, and we have the energy from the universe, so we don't really know how to deal with all these energies. For example, with the Scorpionic energy would be some difficult energies, like subconscious fears, anger. So the person cannot even know how to deal with it. And again, it's very important in which house this stellium falls, and this is the place where must be a potential, not a problem, but you just need to work in this field. You need to master it. You need to work on yourself. For example, if this stellium is in the 7th house of marriage and partnerships, it means that you wouldn't meet your partner, your real partner, until you really balance yourself and work on yourself. And I spoke about how to find your ideal partner according to the birth chart in one of my previous videos. So if you haven't watched it, watch it, because it's very it would be very useful for you. So as I mentioned, this stellium, 3 or more planets in the same sign, at early years can be very challenging, really hard to deal with, but with time you can turn it into potential, and you can do miracles with it. And actually, in general, everything in your birth chart, even the most difficult parts, the most difficult things in our birth chart, if we work on them, we can turn it into potential. For example, if you have childhood where you suffered a lot from your parents, maybe they had some addictions, you didn't get enough love from them, so you experience this would be very very difficult Piscean energy or Scorpionic energy. So when you grow, obviously your upbringing will be very difficult, but then if you start working on yourself, you start going to psychiatrists, psychologists, you start working with on your personality, or work with your subconscious, then you master it, you get over it, and then what you can do, you can start helping other people, and you turn your very challenging part in your birth chart, very difficult one, you turn it into your best treasure, let's say. And especially when I talk about this, I remember Chiron now, because with Chiron, this is exactly what we can do. And also I am preparing for you a video about Chiron and how to deal with it. So there are not impossible things. Everything in our birth chart is there because we knew before incarnating, we knew that we couldn't deal with it. So no complaints, no mournings. It's our responsibility. Life is in our hands. We have to work on it, and we have to improve ourselves. Okay, so MC we said, stelliums, and also planets in strong positions. So what does it mean? This topic might be very big, planets in strong and weak positions, but I will give you some insight into it. So every planet has signs in which this planet feels good, and we say in astrology it is in a strong position, and planets that are in weak positions. And I'll give you an example. And I think I gave you examples when I talked about the sun and the moon. So, for example, the sun is strong, we say in strong position in the fire signs. So the sun feels good in Aries, in Sagittarius, and in Leo, because it can show its ego. So, for example, if you have sun in those three signs, you can use this as a potential because your sun is strong. So you can be good leaders. You can be be motivators for other people. You can be basically number one and leading group of people, and you can shine on top of everybody. This would be your potential. Sun, on the other hand, is weak in the air signs, in Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So you wouldn't. We say that the sun is weak in those signs, so it's not. You wouldn't use it, or maybe you should make a lot of more effort if you want to do the same things, if you want to be a leader, because in yourself the energy is different. So this is how we say planets in strong positions, planets that feel good in certain signs, and planets in weak positions, planets that don't really feel good in certain signs. And also spoke about Venus. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, so Venus feels good in those two signs. And if you have Venus in Taurus or Libra, it means that you can use Venus as your potential. But actually, there's another sign that Venus is exalted, we say in astrology. It means that it's very, very strong. So if Venus is strong in Taurus and Libra, it is very, very strong in Pisces. And again, this can be used as a potential. But for now, that's enough, just a general introduction, and then I might make video about every planet in which signs is strong, weak, exalted, or debilitated, we also say in astrology, and why. So in general, when I look for potentials, I look these three things, and I also look at the North Node. And we spoke about the North Node yesterday. So North Node is our mission in this life. North Node is what we need to be our goal in life. It's not our comfort zone, because our South Node is our comfort zone. And if you haven't watched my video about the lunar nodes, watch it. But still, it would be great if we can somehow integrate our potentials in our mission. So at the same time, we can basically we can come to our mission. We can use our potentials, and we will be happy at the same time. So this is like a great happiness, really. Right. And also when we look for career, or what job or what career somebody to work on, we look at actually three houses. So we look the second house, the sixth house, and the 10th house. So second house is money, how we earn money. Sixth house is everyday job, and 10th house is career. So even in astrology, we have two different houses for job and career or profession. What's the difference? When with the 10th house, what you do it. It's your career, it's your profession. You're more specialized in this field. It's like you're professionalist. With the sixth house, it's everyday job, so it could be anything which can any job which can just pay your bills. So it might not be your career, but it's just a job. But when it comes to like finding your vocation or career, we also look at the sixth house and the second house, as I mentioned, because the second house is the money. And unfortunately, it's not always the same. So it might happen that from one job you get good money, but it doesn't fulfill your soul. You're not happy with this job. Or you find your dream job, but it doesn't give you enough money. So unfortunately, the second and the 10th house don't always go together. But obviously, that's why we have the free will to choose, or we can try the one thing for a while and then change to another thing to the other thing for some time. So you can do a job for money. Once you have save some money, then you can start fulfilling your dreams. And this is actually what I did as well. Right. So again, most of the people today, before 2020, again, I will say, the jobs they would do would be just to pay the bill, just for money. And they were kind of forcing themselves to do this job just because they were scared if they quit this job, what would happen if I quit my job? But in order for something new to happen in our life, in order for a new door to be open, we need to close the old door. So nothing new will come if there is no space for it. So we need to close one door in order another door to be open. And that's why we need to, once we realized our potentials, our wishes, we need to focus and channel all our energy to this and start working on it. And as I said in my previous video, if you really want something from the depth of your heart, it will happen. Your dreams will come true, maybe not in 1 month, in 1 year, but in 5, it will happen. Because when we do something from the heart, this is the Leo energy. When you really love something, you put a lot of love and emotions there, and the universe will just give you what you want. And it's really like that. Okay, so as I said, I'm gonna say a few sentences about every sign, what is the potential of every sign or every planet. So at the same time, I will be telling you which planet is ruling that sign, so you can more or less gain some idea. So I'm going to talk mostly about the signs, the zodiac signs. So if you have strong energy for this sign, it means that your potential is here. So as I said, you're looking for stelliums, more planets in one house, or you're looking for your MC, midheaven, the sign of your MC. And now I will tell you some jobs, careers related to every sign. So if you have strong energy, Aries, strong energy of Aries in your birth chart, it means that you're very good for leadership positions. You need to do a job where you will be independent. You can own your own business because you're a good leader, a good boss, and you are independent. You don't depend on anybody else, so you're good on your own. And jobs where bravery is needed, risk is needed to go and conquer the world. So also some risky professions, maybe work in military services, or jobs or careers related to physical effort, like doing some sports, fitness coaches, instructors, mentors, to lead the people. So here we talk also about the planet Mars. So when we talk about Mars, we have a lot of energy in Mars. So these people really need to somehow express their energy, their ego. They need to lead. They need to be first. They need to compete. They need to be on the top, because this energy is very strong in them, and it provokes them all the time. So if somebody with strong Aries energy is just sitting and doing nothing, this energy one day can literally kill that person. So that's why Aries people, they need to really act, to fight, to physically, to run, to do sports, to lead, to be the first, really. So that was Aries and Mars, and now Taurus and Venus. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, and here with Taurus energy, we have people who can be good at art, dance, music, poetry, theater, literature, and professions where there is not much risk, because see how the energy is different. Aries wants adrenaline and risk. Taurus, they don't want change, they don't want risk, they want to play on the safe. So this is very different energy. And Taurus wants something slow, like painting, like listening to music, so very slow things. Taurus also likes food, so they can be good cooks. They can do professions related to home, to the family comfort, like aesthetics, designing, photography as well, fashion, beauty. But it is also very important with the Taurus, the career or the profession they do to bring them money, because the possessions is the word that describe Taurus, and they feel comfort if they have some possessions or money. So they can be artists if they gain some money. If there's no money in being an artist, they wouldn't do it. So money and Taurus is the same thing. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So here, Mercury, is very quick planet. It's the quickest planet. Mercury takes only 88 days to go around the sun. So with Mercury, things needs to be interesting. There needs to be a variety of things, change of environment. Here, Gemini likes exchanging communication, speaking. It needs to be funny. Gemini is also jack of all trades, so they know a bit of everything. And they don't want monotonous and boring jobs. They can be journalists, where they work in dynamic environment. Gemini can also be good teachers because they're good at speaking, and that's especially primary school teachers. With Gemini, we said something very like dynamic job. Next sign is Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So here with Cancer, we talk about emotions. We talk about the feminine energy. We talk about caring about other people. So all professions related to care and home would suit a Cancer sign. So it can be a hairdresser, cosmetician, beautician, social worker, to care about the poor people, the unemployed people. Also estate agent, to find houses for people, housing. This is home and Cancer. And every job or profession that it is actually like mothering, like looking after other people. And also Cancer energy can be good to work in nurseries, because this is like caring about young kids as well. Next sign would be Leo. So Leo is ruled by the sun, and Leo needs to do something through the heart. So whatever Leo does, it needs to be done through the heart to have success. So it can be working in the theater with acting, because Leo likes drama. Then Hollywood stars, film, comics, so to be on the scene. My MC, my midheaven is in Leo. And also jobs related with children, because Leo rules with the 5th house, and in the 5th house we have also children. So young energy, something that comes from creation, that comes from the heart. So work with children as well. And Leo is also connected to being famous, to royals, if you want, to be in the center. Leo also has leadership skills. And jobs also related with gold, precious stones, and something shining, really. That's the Leo energy. The next energy is Virgo. And Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. But what's different with Virgo and Gemini is that Gemini likes exchanging information and gathering information, but just for the sake of it. Virgo, she would gather the information, analyze, organize, and present it in a more simple way. So the Virgo digests information. That's why the digestive system in the body is also ruled by Virgo sign. So Virgos can be good critics, obviously, because they're perfectionists. So editors, because they are good at finding mistakes. Accountant jobs, because this is good with accountants should be good with information, data, organizing, etc. They can also be good economists. Doctors, because Virgo rules with the health, so good organic eating, healthy food, nutritionist, and all those stuff. That's all related to Virgo. The next sign is Libra. Libra is also ruled by Venus. So these people would like some job, or are good for a job that can bring them prestige. So they can be good at diplomacy, good with jobs related with aesthetics, consultants, like marriage consultants maybe. So anywhere where they really can bring balance and harmony to the life of other people. This would be Libra. Yes. And we're going to the next sign. So next sign is Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So with Pluto, Scorpios, they can be good detectives and researchers, because they're good at finding what is covered, to uncover something, to dig deep under the ground, into the under the conscious, which is the subconscious, and they can also do jobs related to energetic feeling, jobs related to the occult, esoterics as well, because this is what's not visible really. Scorpio rules with invisible things. They can be good policemen, let's say, because again it's connected to criminal, mafia, the underground world. So again, it's digging to gain some digging into the mysteries to gain some information. Also jobs related to oil mines, which is digging under the ground as well. Sagittarius, I have stellium in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So with Sagittarius people, their work needs to be something to do something with intellectual work, with wisdom, with higher education, to conquer the world. They're great optimists, traveling, as I mentioned at the beginning, broadening their horizons, getting to know the world, learning about the world, and seeing the big picture really. Then there can be good tour guides. Actually, I really wanted to become a tour guide once upon a time. And then I understood why, because of my Sagittarius stellium. So they're also good leaders, because their ego. This is a fire sign like Leo and Aries. And they can also be good priests, because they can preach wisdom and religion, because also this religion comes under the Sagittarius. They can be good at philosophy. They can be good historians, working with some ideology, good motivational speakers, because they're optimists and they like preaching. Good lawyers and judges as well. Linguists, because Sagittarian is the sign of foreign countries, and everything that's conquering new field of life really. The next sign, Capricorn. So Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is career, and Capricorn is really let's say heavy energy, especially for the first part of life. And with Capricorn and Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, things usually come later in life, but when they come, Saturn would bring you quality. So because they are very disciplined, if you have like more Capricornian energy, these people are very disciplined. They like the order, and they can do any job really, and they can be successful at any job just because they're very disciplined in what they do. So anything like architecture, construction, in the construction industry, because Saturn rules with the spine and the bones in our body. So everything that creates structure, really, everything that somebody else can rely on, this is Saturn. So they can be good economists, engineers, diplomats, politicians as well. So on a lower level, Saturn would give you hard work, really like jobs that really need like hard work, drudgery. But on a higher level, with the higher vibration, Saturn can turn you into like living in the higher level of society, having a status and being a public person as well. And now we came to Aquarius, and we are entering, you all know, we're entering the age of Aquarius, which is the new time, which everything is opposite of Saturn here. So Uranus rules with Aquarius, and here we talk about rebels, about revolutionaries, about I want something new. I had enough of the tradition. I'm going into the future. I want to do genetic science. I want to do cloning, something very, very new, which is not even familiar on the earth. Also, humanitarian work, helping each other. Aquarius also rules with the sky, so astronomy or astrology also is Uranus. Aviation, aeroplanes, electronics, electricity, antennas, laser therapy, again occult, futurism, extraterrestrial. So basically everything that is very different from the old world, really. And the last sign would be Pisces. And I always say Pisces energy is the most complex and very difficult to understand for other signs, because as the soul develops through all the 12 signs until it comes to the 12th energy, which is Pisces, the soul gained knowledge and experience from all the 11, and now it became like a very complicated and complex energy. So that's why Pisces energy is very difficult to understand. But on the other hand, Pisces people are very intelligent, they're ahead of everybody. They can feel other people. Their intuition is on a very high level. They're very sensitive. They have unconditional love for everybody, which sometimes is good, but sometimes not great, because they're also prone to falling victims to other people. But anyways, when I'm talking about the good things about Pisces, so their career, vocation, profession should be emotional, and it should include serving to other people, but serving on a emotional level, in terms of healing other people with intuition and emotion. So because the opposite sign, Virgo, it's serving to the people on a practical level. Pisces serve to the people on a more emotional level. So here we can have people working with psychiatry, then also art, dance, music. So because all these things are Neptunian, Neptune rules with Pisces. With all these things, we can actually escape from the reality of Kronos, of Saturn. So that's why Pisces, Neptune likes like dreaming with music or painting, and people are in the other world, not on the earth at this time, and they really enjoy it. So that's why these things are connected to Neptune and Pisces. So also photography, screenwriting, TV, theater, charity. So one thing that is very characteristic about Pisces is Neptune is doing charity works. That falls up under Pisces. Pharmacology, dream, hypnosis, hypnotherapy as well, anything connected to the dream, and anything that is using your imagination. Really, that would be about Pisces. So I've gone through all the 12 energies, the 12 signs, with the ruling planets as well. And I hope that I'm really useful and helpful to you guys. I'm Virgo, so I like serving to people on a practical level. And the higher vibration of Virgo is to gather information, make it simple, and present it to the world. So I'm really, I would be really happy if you comment below, if you listen to my video, if you like it, if you have some other topic that you would like me to digest and organize for you, I would be happy to do that. Also, if you would like to do a personal consultation with me, if you have any problems, if you feel lost, if you have no idea what your mission is, whether to marry that guy or not, or I can give you some advice and directions in life. And again, don't be scared of showing yourself or showing your healthy ego to the other people. Say express your emotions, do whatever your soul wants, because when we satisfy our soul, then we are happy. Then is when we reach the happiness. And also when we deal with Saturn, I talked about Saturn yesterday. So astrology is a great system that really, really helps understanding life, all the cycles of life, why things happen. And everything happens for a reason. So if you want to know why, the answers, guys, are here in your birth chart. If you need help reading your birth chart or casting your birth chart, you can contact me and I'll do my best to help you. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday at the same time. And we're going to talk about little tricks how to improve the energy of our birth chart. Bye-bye.